I'll tell you one thing about this movie. You're not going to get any lens flare. But you are going to get some motorcycle riding. What's happening, my film nerds? David the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Star Trek Beyond. Of course, Star Trek Beyond is got Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto. I can name everybody. There's a lot of people in this cast. I'm not going to do that, but it's directed by Justin Lin this time, and it's co-written by Simon Pegg. I love Simon Pegg, love him as Scotty, and just love pretty much everything he's in. He always seems like a great dude. He's funny as hell. I'm on board. I was on board when I heard that he was co-writing this thing. Star Trek Beyond catches up with everybody on the Enterprise. It's about 3 years into their little 5-year journey that they talked about in the second one. Kirk is he's a little burnt out. Just a little burnt out. But then we got this big baddie named Krall, played by Idris Elba, and he's just great too in everything that he does. Who's looking for this ancient artifact that the Enterprise has, so of course he sends all kinds of crazy shit to pretty much destroy, again, the Enterprise, and it comes crashing down onto this planet, and the crew gets entirely scattered. So it's pretty much let's survive, and it's cool because they they do it in pairs. They get scattered in pairs, so you kind of get their dynamic, and the greatest dynamic of that little pairing is Bones and Spock. They have great exchanges because, of course, you got Bones that are just constantly complaining about what's going on. He's pissed off, and he's making those sarcastic comments, and you got Spock, who, of course, is just everything's, he has to speak logical and be all serious and stuff, so it just works. So what did I think of Star Trek Beyond? This movie is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this movie is great, and I saw it with my dad, who's a big Star Trek fan. He enjoyed the hell out of it, too. I mean, like I said, what drives this movie is the characters. Spock and Bones exchanges, back and forth, the chemistry right there was just spot on. You kind of got that old sense. I don't know, to me, the film really felt like, when I used to watch those old TV shows with my dad, for some reason I just got that scent of it with a lot of that, especially with the Spock and Bones thing. But that's not to say that all the other characters weren't great. All the other characters were great too. Simon Pegg continues to be hilarious as Scotty. You have, what's her name, Zoe Saldana playing Uhura, and she kicked some ass. Sulu was great. And of course you got Chris Pine as Kirk, and then the late Anton Yelchin, man. God, man, we lost it's amazing because he does such a great accent. You just go, is he really Russian? But I heard he can actually fluently speak Russian too. He was like a prodigy, which really sucks. And I almost got sad when I would see him on the big screen. I'm like, fuck, man. That just sucks. And freak accident, man. It really sucks. We really lost a true treasure when it comes to acting. But Chris Pine, of course, knocks it out as Kirk. I mean, when it comes to the directing and the action, it's great. Justin Lin knows how to do that. But like I said, it's the characters that really drive this movie. It's just you really get a sense of all these characters. And the whole Sulu gay thing, they don't throw it in your face. I was really fearing that they were going to do that, but they don't. It's actually pretty subtle. And I was kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. You kind of get a backstory of Sulu. I'm fine with that. Idris Elba as Krall is just, of course, it's Idris Elba. And what's great about his character is at first he just seems he's like that traditional baddie, just wants to destroy shit. But then once you find out why he wants to destroy it, you go, oh, I get it. And that's what you want in a villain. You kind of want to go, oh, okay, I get why he's doing it. When you don't side with the villains just a little bit, that's a bad villain. It's a poorly written villain. But if you side with them a little bit, good job with the writing. Sofia Boutella, whatever her name is, who plays Jayla, she was a badass. And she wasn't overbearing. They didn't give her too much screen time. There wasn't I was like, okay, is they gonna take her character this way? Are they gonna go right? No, they were pretty good with her character. She rocked it. She was quick-witted, and she just kicked a lot of ass. Not to mention the way she looked, I thought was really cool. I mean, the makeup and everything, practical effects had a lot to do with this movie. Yeah, you hear that, Paul Feig? And the pacing of this movie is great. It just keeps going and going and going. For me, it just really didn't drag. From start to finish, I was totally engaged in the movie, and I was like, yes, I'm liking how this is going. I'm liking what they're doing with Kirk. I like what they're doing with Spock. I like what they were doing with the characters, and then you see the character growth throughout the movie, and then of course the chemistry with all the characters just really worked. Gave you a sense of the old style, and there's a few winks to Star Trek fans, which is great, and I enjoyed that, and my dad, of course, enjoyed the shit out of that. So does Star Trek Beyond belong on the wall of favorite movies of 2016? Yes, it does. This is what a summer blockbuster is supposed to be, especially being a sequel when we have a bunch of reboots and sequels that are coming out that are not exactly up to par at all. We got a third Star Trek movie that I think was better than the second Star Trek movie. I still like the first one the best, but this is definitely better than the second one. I mean, I still like the second one, but this one is just, it goes 1, 3, 2 for me. So let me know if you saw Star Trek Beyond down below in the balls area. Let me know what you thought about it. And that's all I got to say about that. Yep, that's all I got to say about that. Bye! And thank you for watching, you beautiful people. You go ahead and hit that like, thumbs up button if you'd be so kind. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Subscribe to my other channel too. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and visit filmjunkie.com for all my videos.